Hey, Johanna, thank you so much. And wherever you are, whenever you're listening, welcome. I know how valuable your time is, and thank you for sharing a few minutes of it with us. We take that seriously, and please let us know how we can do a better job than we're doing. On YouTube this week, we talked about two topics. One is about routines, which sounds like a yawner, right? Oh gosh, that's not important. Well, wait a minute. Let's make sure about that. And the other one, as Johanna said, is beware the easy way. And I'll start there. There's a lot of science and physics and even human behavior stuff about taking the path of least resistance. Water always seeks its level and takes the path of least resistance. And human behavior is like that to a great degree as well. If we're being affirmed for something that we're doing, we tend to do more of it. If we're not affirmed for something that we're doing, if that affirmation is sporadic, sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't, we'll still do it, but less consistent. And if we are criticized for something that we do, we will tend to do less and less of it. For the most part, there are exceptions, of course. But spiritually, seeking the path of least resistance and taking the easy way can be the death knell of your best possible life. Absolutely. And that one factor, even if everything else is right, that one factor can hold you back your entire life. Why? Because we learn most from pain. We learn most from going through difficult things. One thing I was talking to one of my sons about last night is growing up, he's not had to work really hard. He had to work really hard at school because he's dyslexic and stuff like I am. But as far as physical labor, he's not had to work really hard. And I went into his bedroom last night and I told him the thing that's going to be hardest for you in your life is to learn to work hard every day. And that's going to be the biggest difference in whether you're going to be successful in your life or not. You got a great heart. You've got a wonderful mind. You love people. People love you. You've got all kinds of wonderful giftings and talents and abilities. But you have to learn to work hard and not always seek the path of least resistance if you're going to have your best life. The problem is most of us don't do that. Most of us do seek the path of least resistance. Now, if you've heard me very much, you know other names that I call that, which is, some of them are seek pleasure and avoid pain, okay? Instant gratification versus delayed gratification, etc. But the big issue here is expectation. You know what? If you're expecting... how can I put this? I've been searching for an analogy for this. I grew up in sports. If you go into a game against the number one team in any sport and you're the worst team in that sport, okay, which I've done a few times, and they're supposed to beat you 45 to nothing. Everybody thinks they're just going to demolish you, okay? Well, if you go into that game and that's what you've heard and that's what you believe and they end up winning 45 to 44, I've been in that locker room. And that is not a bummed locker room because we lost. Yeah, there's a little disappointment there, but really that's an upbeat, positive locker room. Hey man, we almost beat the very best team. We're better than we thought. We might have a great year here. This is really good, okay? On the other hand, if they go into the game expecting to win 45 to nothing, and they win 45-44, that's not going to be a real jubilant locker room. They're going to be glad they won, but it's going to be more like, whew, boy, that was close. Man, we stunk. That never should have been that close. Okay? So your expectation can absolutely determine your experience in almost any circumstance. And the mistake people make is expecting a easy, good, positive, what they want outcome. Okay. Now, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with it is, according to great research at Harvard, it puts you into physiological stress, which is where negative thoughts, negative emotions, illness, and disease come from. All right? On the other hand, if you suspend expectation and say, you know what, I'm just going to go into this game, and we may win, we may lose, but I'm going to play my rear end off until the whistle blows, the best I possibly can, and whatever happens, happens. Now that is the way to go into that game. That is the way to go into a relationship. That is the way to go into a new day. All right? So the very attitude of looking for the easy way, and if something doesn't go the way you wanted it to go, and you experience something in the anger family, that is proof that you had an expectation about that thing that you should not have had, and it's hurting your health, it's hurting your mind, will, and emotions, it's hurting your actions and behaviors, it is keeping you back from your best life, health, relationships, etc. So, one of the best things you can ever do in your life is to stop expecting or looking for the easy way. In fact, when you get to that cross in the road and one way looks easy and one way looks hard, one of the best things to me you can start doing is take a good long look at the hard way and consider that one. Big time. Because most likely there's lots of hidden blessings and treasures over there that you can't see until you get in there, experience that, stick with it, push through the pain of change, and get to the other side. All right? So beware the easy road. Suspend expectation in almost everything and consider the hard way, starting now. Okay. The other one about routines was really fascinating to me. Really. I mean, I wasn't even going to talk about this because I thought it was kind of a yawn or two. And then it came across my attention and I started digging a little bit. A wonderful research study looked at every, I guess you would say, certified genius that they could find in every time period of history. Okay? They were looking for a common thread. They found one. Know what it was? Every successful genius they could find in every time period in history had routines that, when their life was examined, directly led to their genius end results in life. And the geniuses that did not have routines did not succeed the way the ones that had the routines did. All right. But please watch the YouTube teaching, because you can't just start any routine anyway. That probably won't work, and it's probably why you're not doing it now. If you're not, is because you tried to do routines before and it didn't work. There's a certain way to do it so that it works, all right? I've seen one other set of studies and research similar to this, and it was fascinating to me, and I did this one about 10 years ago, this research. they looked at every world changer in history in every time period. This is a different group, but great research. Looking for a common thread. You know what they found? They found one common thread. It was not routines. It was belief and trust. Every world changer trusted people naturally, easily, and had a positive, truthful-based belief system. Every one of them. Abraham Lincoln, Jesus, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, every single one that they studied. So if you put those together, if you believe in what is true, what is right, what is love-based, what is positive, if you believe in that, which you should if you bother to take the time to examine the things, because love is always the one that's true and that wins in the end. I mean, Gandhi said that a long time ago. He said, think about it. Love and truth always win. This is a quote by Gandhi. For a time, it may seem that dictators and tyrants succeed with their harshness and cruelty and selfishness, but in the end, they always fall, and love and truth always triumph. So if you put those two bodies of studies together, believing the truth, believing in love, committing to that, and setting up routines in your life, positive routines that take you to your best possible outcomes in life, is a combination that is hard to beat. In fact, if you do those two things, if you change those two things in your life and nothing else, it's my experience, your life will get better and better and better and better, starting immediately as soon as you change those two things. The definition of routines was interesting, and I don't have it memorized, and I don't have it in front of me right here, but it was basically a set of actions and behaviors that is a regular occurrence and takes little to no thought. Some of you are probably familiar that Einstein wore the same clothes every single day. He said, one less thing to think about. I can use that mental energy on something else. Steve Jobs wore the same clothes every day, kind of modeling after Einstein. That's sort of a, I don't know that that's any big life-changing thing, wearing the same clothes, but setting up routines for success, happiness, health, to reach, to use your giftings to their maximum. I don't know that the average person can do that even without setting up routines that work. So positive, love-based, gifting-based routines that you stick to, and believing and trusting in the truth and love, life-changing. So that's it for me, Johanna. If anyone has a comment or question.
All right. So if you have a comment or question, please raise your hand. If you're on the phone, star 2 is going to raise your hand. And if you are online, you can type in your question or comment, and I'll read it to Alex. So we have one hand up, Alex, and I think this is Marilyn.
All right.
I knew something.
Hey, Marilyn.
Hello, Alex. Hello, Johanna. Thank you for your answer last week. Very, very helpful. And it kind of leads into my question this week, because I have a friend I talk to about these things, and they don't like the idea of we actually are going into more pain, that by choosing to do the right thing, it creates more pain. And the answer last week, which was about repenting, it was a change of perspective. That's all it was. What you said gave me whole different perspective. And I wonder whether we have a wrong perspective of pain because, take for instance, the fact that if you choose not to look for something pleasant now and wait for something, it's not like oh my God, my life is so painful. It's just, we're just waiting a little bit longer for something which is much better. And that's what I'm asking. Do we have a wrong perception of pain when we are choosing to go the high road rather than a low road?
Yeah, Marilyn, I think you're reading my mind because at least right now, I mean, I never know until about 30 minutes before, but at least right now, that's kind of what I'm planning to talk about this week, is that I believe most of us do have a wrong perception of pain. I know I certainly did. I mean, if I'd been 20 years old, hearing someone say what I say now about pain, man, I'd probably turn the channel real quick. But the truth is that pain is going to find you, okay? I have never in my life to this point gone looking for pain. Oh, I need to grow some. I need some pain. No way, man. I mean, that's pain for pain's sake, which is fear-based, okay? Pain will find you. You don't have to look for it at all. In fact, whether you go the high road or the low road, whether you live predominantly in love or predominantly in fear, you're going to experience pain either way, all right? And the way I've said it in the past is that the difference is on the love path, the pain is meaningful. On the fear path, it's meaningless. But I think I need a better way to explain that. But I'm not sure of the words, because I can tell you for me, and a lot of clients that I've worked with, I've talked with, and they've struggled to actually put it into words either. But in a weird way for me now, pain is pleasurable in a sense. It's not pleasurable like eating when I'm really hungry. It's not pleasurable like using the restroom when I really need to go. It's not pleasurable like some other things. But it is pleasurable because I know, I know that if I deal with this, if I don't run away from it, if I don't try to just, get angry and beat it up, fight or flee, if I don't do that, if I stand straight up, address it face to face, maybe even embrace it and say, okay, how are pain and I supposed to do this one? And God help me. I always pray, God, please help me learn what I need to learn here, or this to do what it needs to do in my life, or whatever. But in the middle of the pain, even if it's excruciating, I also have a knowledge that I'm going to come out of this higher than I was before, which means a happier life, better relationships, maybe making more money, being healthier physically, etc. So, yes, you're absolutely right. You can't just think of pain the way you did when you were 6 years old and skinned your knee, and it's just horribly excruciating and terrible for 15 minutes. And no. This is adult pain. This is spiritual pain, and dealing with it rightly always takes you to a better place in your life than you were before the pain. And so, once you have that happen 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 times, you know it's going to happen. And so even though you're hurting, you're also grateful and thankful, and I'm going to be better for this. You don't think it, you know it. You don't know how necessarily, but you know you will be. And so, yeah, that is a great point, Marilyn.
I'll look forward to next week's video. Just one other thing, tomorrow is the all access call. Are we good to be an hour later than what this call is?
We are not. I did a survey, and every person I talked to said, now if it's any time other than right around lunchtime, I can't come. And now they haven't been coming. That's my problem. But several of them said they're going to start coming. Several said, oh, I didn't even know you were doing that. But I'll start coming, but I can't come any time other than lunchtime. So we're going to leave it there for now. And I'm sorry about that. We're trying to, but keep talking about it. Maybe we'll change it next month. If no one else comes, then I think for sure we'll probably change it. But we'll see.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Carolyn. Okay, we have another hand up, Alex, and this person is from Ontario, and your line is open.
Hello, folks. Alex.
Hello.
This is Jim.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
A little bit concerned.
Okay. What's up?
Well, actually, you spoke to my wife, Lori, a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying that even though she is following a routine of trilogies and stuff, things are not improving.
Uh-huh.
And you suggested that maybe the biological approach would be appropriate. And so yesterday, they took her by ambulance to the hospital.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by the biological approach, Jim?
Not strictly with energy approaches and the trilogies, but to attack the problem physically, biologically.
What did she do that with biologically? Because you know, trilogy and the codes are pretty much what we do.
Yeah.
What was the biological that she used?
Well, no, she's just starting it now by going to a hospital.
Oh, okay. So checking out the oh, that's right. Yeah. I always tell people that, Jim. If you're having all these symptoms, yeah, go get them checked out. Go have the test. Let the doctors. Now, don't necessarily do the treatment they tell you. That's another matter. But at least go and see what's going on. Okay, I think I'm up with you now. Go ahead. So they took her to the hospital.
Yeah. And right now, that is causing her some frustration and stuff because they've done a few tests, and the things that they're doing are actually just making it worse. A lot more pain for her to go through. And we've even been telling them that, yeah, we've tried that before. It causes more problems. And right now, she's feeling very helpless and frustrated, especially with the COVID rules in the hospitals here.
Yeah.
Any support at all. I can talk to her on the phone, but that's about it to emotionally support her.
Yeah. Well, Jim, I cannot go against the doctor's order, so I'm not even going to try to do that. But I always believe when you're having symptoms, go get them checked out. And probably 50% of the time, they don't find anything. And to me, that's always been a good thing. And people have thanked me for that over and over and over. They've said, even though they didn't find anything, I am so relieved because they didn't find anything. And that's what I was terrified of. So if that was bad advice, I apologize, but I'd give that same advice today if I was asked again. Go have tests done and see if they can find something. Then at least you know what you're dealing with. But I'm very sorry for her suffering.
Wanting me to pass that message along right now.
Okay. Well, please.
Keep listening when you say that's going to cause problems. And so she's
hoping to get another trilogy for the helplessness and frustration today.
Yeah, and Johanna can give her that.
Okay.
Okay. And Jim, please tell her I'm going to pray for her starting today about this.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Johanna? Oh, I've got to go in 3 minutes.
Okay, well, there's no other hands up.
Aha.
So I can go ahead and connect with Jim about that.
Okay, love you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. And please, start those positive, healthy routines. It can really be life-changing, and consider the hard way instead of the easy way. There's almost always a hidden blessing there. Love you, everybody. Love you, Johanna. Bye-bye.
Okay, God bless.